All right, so here we go. We're going to start solving log equations, okay? So logs and exponents follow the same rules. So if you remember, if we had the same base for exponents, we could cancel them. One log base, I should say one exponential base for another exponential base on the other side of the equation. Well, since logs and exponents follow the same rules, we can do the same thing here. So if you have the same log base on each side of the equation, what you can do is cancel the logs and solve, just like you would with exponentials. So if you take a look at this guy, it's log base 7 of 4x minus 3, and then log base 7 of x plus 6. So since there's a log base 7, or the same base on either side, I can cancel these two and then set them equal to each other. Okay, and then subtract x. All right, I'll have 3x minus 3 equals 6, then add 3, okay, and then 3x equals 9, so divide by 3, and x is 3, okay? Now, that's if I have a log on either side. If you take a look here, we have a problem because there's only one log, okay? So if we only have one log, we're gonna, and they give you a clue here, we're gonna exponentiate each side. Now, I think it's easier, okay? We're gonna use exponents. We're gonna go to exponential form. So on our homework yesterday, in our classwork, if it was an exponent that we couldn't figure out, we went to log form. Now we have a log that we can't cancel because there's no log on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my half a heart or my loop, however you do it, but this really is 2 to the 4th power equals 3x plus 1. All right, now if you notice, the x is not caught up inside those parentheses anymore, right, because there's no log anymore. And then I just have numbers. So if I use my calculator, right, 2 to the 4th is 16, and that was on our cheat sheet yesterday. Okay, so maybe you remember that. We get 3x plus 1. We subtract 1. So then 15 equals 3x. So therefore, divide by 3, x is 5. Okay, and that's our answer. All right, so what you want to see, if there's one log, okay, we're going to rewrite in exponential okay, let me make sure you can see that, in exponential form. Okay, if it's log equals a log, right, and then we have some expression in both cases, we cancel the logs and solve. Okay, so you kind of have to look at what the equation looks like initially to kind of figure out what method you'll use. Okay, so you're going to see on your homework, you're going to have one of these two scenarios, all right? So if we turn to the next page, you can see we have some examples, okay? So I'll do a few of these with you guys, okay? So maybe 3 or 4. Okay, so if I take a look, can you see the first two equations that we have here? I have a log on one side and the same log on the other side. So I can cancel my logs and just solve. Okay, then subtract x. And 2 equals x minus 5, right? Then we add 5, so x will be 7, okay? Then I have the same scenario here, right? I have a log on one side, a log on the other, so these two expressions must be equivalent, right? Because we're taking the log, the same log of both of them. So then if I add 9, and it just depends on what order you do this in, it doesn't matter. So I added the 9 there, so I got 10. Then, oop, I forgot the 3x, my bad. 3x plus 10. Then subtract 3x. Okay, and then I get 5x equals 10. Divide by 5, and x is 2. Okay? Now, if you look at the next two examples, these are like the second example I did. There's only one log, so we cannot cancel a log from one side and not from the other. So what you're going to do is you're always going to start with your base. This is the same base in exponential form. So 4 squared equals 7x plus 2. And then you notice, right, that x is not caught in that log anymore. Now we have it in exponential form. So then 4 squared is 16. Okay, subtract 2. Just solve like a normal equation. All right, so then I'll get, what, 14 equals 7x divided by 7, and x is 2, okay? And then last but not least, if we look at this guy, again, a single log, okay? So we're going to go to exponential form. You start with your base. 3 to the 4th power equals 5x plus 1. 3 to the 4th, you might need a calculator for this, but this should be 81. Minus 1, minus 1. Then I get 80 equals 5x, right? Divide by 5. We get x is 16, okay? So your homework tonight, okay, is to do, okay, and there it's attached to the next page, all right? So if you turn the page or scan through the pages, you'll see I have you doing 37 through 47 odd, okay? So that's 6 problems. And then the answers are on the following page, okay? And you can check your work with those, all right? So again, you can kind of see, just as a clue, this is the first where we have a log for a log. We can cancel them. Here's where you're going to have to use exponential form because this has a single log in each of those questions, okay? Hopefully that was helpful, and email me if you have questions, all right?